I interviewed my buddy Steve Maddie, and he made a transition from he worked in construction up until he was 30, and he wanted a more stable, I guess, career, and that's why he transitioned into IT. Actually trained him, but we got into this conversation about how important experience is, just job experience overall. And I feel like that's something that today is kind of, I don't think it's overlooked at the company level and the people that are looking to hire, but I think that people that are looking to get into careers, they super underestimate the value of just a job experience. Like, he I think he was making probably like 20, 25, close to 30 an hour when he was doing construction. He went down to making 12 an hour, and he's like, listen, I just needed the experience in this field that I had not, that I didn't know anything about. And then, he worked himself up, and, he's been 6 years in IT, and he's doing a lot better now. But have you seen that where, because I've definitely ran into a lot of kids, especially like in, I don't know if you knew, but I'm kind of like a youth leader. So I do see a lot of kids that are in high school, college, etc. And man, like, they just don't value that just work experience. They just want to get this degree and just get this job, making whatever, 80, 100 grand a year off the bat. And I'm just like, if you can swing it, great, but I don't know, I don't know if it's going to happen just like that,
Yeah. So one of the big things that me and my wife talk about all the time is you are worth what somebody will pay for you, right? And for your services. So that's great that if you have a PhD or you have a master's degree, but if nobody's willing to pay you for that specific opportunity that you're applying for and at the rate you want, you have to reevaluate yourself and be open to doing that and be fair, right? Be fair in your judging of your value based off of the market. You have to understand that there may be people applying for this role that have 15 years experience in the same degree as you versus your internship, right? And you can't say that's an even playing field as far as what you would be paid, because people don't work 15 years to get paid an entry-level pay. So you have to understand how that all comes together. And I think sometimes there's a struggle in that. But I also think that's a little bit of the way college works. College does a lot of get this degree, and then these are the job titles you could potentially get. And you can be a system administrator making $55,000 a year. You can be this role making $80,000 a year. And it's like, yeah, with experience, like that's
they don't mention that part.
With experience, and it's just kind of a funny, it's a funny way of thinking it, but I think that that's sometimes what misleads people to misunderstanding that, right? If colleges were more open to saying with 2 to 5 years experience, you could be earning this, or you could start at this and earn up. And it also depends on where you live, right? Certain markets aren't as, if you live in a small city versus you live in downtown Boston, there's different pay rates depending on where you live, right? Iowa's not going to pay what Boston's going to pay, or right. New York's not, New York's going to pay a lot more than, somewhere in the middle of Arkansas, right? So you have to also put that all together.